Many of you know that I've had the privilege of working with Paul back in the day, alongside him for a couple of years in the Narcotics Task Force. So it truly is an honor for me to be able to stand before you and say a couple of words about Paul. And I just look around and see how many of you all showed up today, and and it's 0630, and I'm sure some of you have come a long way to be here. And why? Why did you do that? I'd venture to say it's because Paul touched your life in some way, right? Do any of you think that 14 years after your own passing, there's going to be this many people gathered around for a memorial for you? I don't think that's going to be my reality. I don't think that's going to be anybody's reality unless you've touched their lives in some way. Paul touched each of us in some way and added value to our lives. That's why we're here today. We don't choose to be born. We don't choose who our parents are or the country of our birth. And we don't, most of us, choose to die, nor do we choose the time and conditions of our death. But within this realm of choicelessness, we do choose how we live. Yes, how we live is our choice. In our lobby, we all walk past this beautiful marble memorial. And on that memorial, 2 names are engraved. One of those names is Sergeant Paul Avery Starzyk. When a person's life is written after their passing, it's normally depicted as a date of birth, dash, and an end of watch date. In Paul's case, this is April 25, 1961, dash, September 6, 2008. Let's focus for a minute on that dash. That dash represents a life. It represents Paul's life. And for all of us, each of us, that dash is made up of years, of months, but most importantly, moments. And it's how we choose to live each of those moments that makes up our life. Making a difference in the lives of others is what that dash is all about. Paul touched each of us in some way, as a teammate, as a friend, as a mentor, as a husband, and as a role model. A model of what a police officer should be. And he touched the lives of many members of this community. Most have no idea the impact Paul had on this community, though the influence he had on the Martinez Police Department and the individual officers he served alongside of. Many of you are here today. Paul's influence on this community lasts to this day. At the police department, he was a trainer, he was a leader, and his influence persists. It persists in the memories he left, the examples he set, and the training he provided. Paul chose to live a life dedicated to the service of others above self. Paul began his career a little later in life than many of us did. He recognized the call and recognized that he wanted something more in his life, that something was missing. He wanted more meaning, and he felt the calling to service. As many of you out here know, it is a calling. It's not just a job. When leaving his previous career, he knew that when we become police officers, it's certainly not about the salary. Cops recognize there are 2 types of salary: financial and psychological. The financial salary is, of course, merely adequate. But the psychological salary, pride, honor, integrity, the chance to be a part of a profession with a history of service above self, a noble profession that allows us the opportunity to make a difference each and every day, and to have friends who would sacrifice their lives for you as you would for them, and to know that you remain a part of this brotherhood for as long as you live. And Paul intentionally pursued his passion for service with an uncommon dedication and vigor. Now, I don't remember ever talking to Paul about religion. However, I'd like to offer a prayer that's pertinent to all police officers and is consistent with Paul's character. Lord, I ask for courage to face and conquer my own fears, courage to take me where others will not go. I ask for strength of body to protect others, and strength of spirit to lead others. I ask for dedication to my job, to do it well, dedication to my community, to keep it safe. And please, Lord, through it all, be by my side. We all know Paul was a leader, and he had an abundance of courage and an abundance of dedication to the job. He knew the risks of the job, and he also knew that prayers alone can't be counted on to protect us. He knew that we must every day take action to prepare ourselves to face and confront evil. As officers, we don't know when we might be called on to act. Therefore, we have to make an intentional act and make some effort every day to improve ourselves continuously, to use each day of our dash wisely. I know Paul recognized this, and he took his preparation and growth seriously. He made an effort to make every team he was a part of better, and every member of the team better. He knew, as Winston Churchill told us, to each, there comes in our lifetime a special moment when they're figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fitted to their talents. What a tragedy if that moment finds them unprepared or unqualified for that which could have been their finest hour. There was no question that in the minds of the officers that day, 14 years ago, they were going to take action without hesitation. They prepared themselves mentally and physically to confront evil. So with the screams of 3 young children and 2 women ringing in their ears, they pursued evil up those stairs, and they succeeded in preventing the murder of 5 of the 6 people in the apartment that day. Unfortunately, no matter how diligently we prepare, no matter how well trained we are, our job requires us to go into harm's way. And when we do, there's always a chance that harm's going to find us. On that day, September 6, 2008, a day I imagine started much like this one. Officers didn't know that a mere 5 hours later than right now, at 11:40 a.m., they'd be involved in a deadly gun battle. Those officers, a couple are here today, Ian, Glenn, and Paul, willingly pursued evil, an evil man intent on killing innocent people. At least 5 innocent women and children were saved that day because of the selfless, and courageous actions of Paul and those other responding officers. But I'd like to submit that Paul did not lose his life. He gave his life. He gave his life the day he pinned on the badge, and every single day thereafter, by going out into the community to protect and to serve. So as we gather here today to honor our fallen brother, husband, and friend, I also honor you for your courage, your strength, and your dedication to the profession and to this city. Whether you're now retired, you're just beginning your career, or you're somewhere in between. In the end, it all boils down to people, individual law enforcement officers who, after all, are merely fragile human beings. All the equipment, training, planning, preparation, and technology in the world doesn't matter if your number gets called. And when the unthinkable happens, it has a profound effect on our partners as well as our families and friends. So though we may still grieve, we must emphatically reject despair. Unlike most other careers, the brave men and women who embark on a life in law enforcement know fully that they might be one day called to lay down their lives on the call of duty. We honor Paul this morning knowing that he made that choice willingly. Indeed, he embraced it. And that's why his ultimate sacrifice means so much. He served and sacrificed for a purpose far greater than himself. And I can think of no truer definition of a hero.
personnel, dismount!